Hello, we're doing Chapter 5, Section 5, talking about complex numbers as roots of equations. I'm on page 353, the guided practice problems. We're going to do problems 6, 7, 8, and 9. In these problems, we're going to solve using square roots. But when I take the square root, I'm going to take the square root of a negative number, which means I'm going to end up with a imaginary or complex solution. So for problem number 6, I got x squared equals -9. And I don't have to do any backwards. I'll have to over here, but I don't have to do any like adding and subtracting. I've got x to the second power isolated. Take the square root, and don't forget that I've got one positive, one negative root. I always get 2. So my solution, this is square root of -1 is I, and the square root of 9 is 3. So I write 3i. That means I get 3i and its complex conjugate, -3i. And we've already talked about complex conjugates, so that's why I'm going to mention it. Number 7, I do need to work backwards a little bit. I'm going to add -72 to both sides. 2x squared equals -72. And then I'm going to divide by 2. And I get x squared equals -36. So I had a little bit of extra stuff along here, which gets me into something like this. Last time it was -9, now it's -36. I'm going to take the square root of both sides. Don't forget, one positive, one negative. And I get x equals 1 positive, 1 negative. Square root of 36 is 6. Square root of -1 is I. So that tells me that my roots are 6i and its complex conjugate, -6i. Number 8, 4x to the second power equals -16. Divide both sides by 4, and I get x squared equals -4. Take the square root of both sides, don't forget the plus or minus, and I get x equals ±2i. So my roots are 2i and -2i, and those are complex conjugates of each other. Finally, for this video, number 9, I'm going to, let me write it, I'm going to add -121 to both sides, and I get x to the second power equals -121. Take the square root, plus or minus, and I get x equals ±11i. The square root of 121 is 11, so the square root of -121 is 11i. My roots are 11i and -11i. All right, we'll see you in the next video.